Welcome back. Okay, here we go. This is the last video. I promise, kind of. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about two main things. We're going to show you the dashboard that you'll have if you do some ads. Okay, I have one particular ad type on here that we're going to show you. I'd show the other one, but the video would just be so stinking long and they're basically the same. So I'm just going to do one. And the second part is what we're going to do is just talk about how to position ourselves for the next step based on this. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's do this. Let's get excited. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's get pumped. I'm going to dive in. Again, always hit the link, say hello, reach out, do your free call, and let's get started. Okay, talk to you soon. Here we go. Dive in, move my head over to the side. All right, so what are we looking at anyway? What are we doing? All right. So this is I'm gonna pop around, be bouncing on a few of these. So this one in particular is a few important things to look out for here. Okay, everybody. So number one is that this is 90 days, and you have the ability to toggle up and down on here. Okay, so I'm going to show you one in a second that is at 30. Another thing that you can do is you can click from shared desktop and mobile, just desktop or just mobile, and see where your traffic's coming from. Okay, obviously your calls are coming from mobile, okay, and so on and so forth. But nonetheless, what I'm going to do is show you this. So we have impressions. What's an impression? Impression is the number of times that your ad was shown to people. Okay, this particular ad, this dashboard is for pay-per-click ads. Talked about those before. There'll be a link down below to go back to what that ad type is. But that ad type is very powerful because remember what's going on here. If you don't, this is what I'll do is I'll brief you on what that means. So there's a human being somewhere in this world right now in your area, and they're going like this on their phone and they're typing in the word realtor as an example. Okay. And then what they're going to do is they're going to hit enter in Google. What happens is that if that's you in your area, this is showing how many times that has shown up for this particular customer. Excuse me. Whew. But that doesn't mean you have to have one keyword. The word realtor is a keyword. Okay, so you can have more than one. You could have 40, you could have 60, you have 6,000. All right. At the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to choose your keywords in your geographical area to best match with you based on your value you're bringing to your favorite customer. Okay, so that's what impressions means, and based on this amount of days. Next, what we have is the amount of clicks. So the amount of clicks is based on the number of impressions, which comes down to your click-through rate. So this number is 2.12% of this number. So now we've talked about a couple things. We know what a click is. It's clicking on the ad, right? Next thing we know is that the click-through rate is this number into this number, okay? Now, we have a call conversion rate as well. So what's a call conversion rate? A call conversion rate is this number into this number. So based on the number of clicks, because a call is a click, if you remember that from before as well, that 3% of your clicks are actually calls. Bear with me. Okay, now what we have is the cost per click. We talked about that a little bit. And then we have what's called the impression share, okay? So let me back up the train just a second and talk about the cost per click and a few other things, okay? So number one, on your calls, let's think about what's going on here. And this is, again, one ad type. There are several different ad types. The main three buckets that I like to break them down into are pay-per-click, which is what this is, social, okay, meaning Facebook, Instagram, so on, and then retargeting. Those are the buckets that I like to break them up into, and it's more about what they do. It's partly about the platform, but for me, it's more about what they do. So on this one, what I really like about these, especially for you guys, is that in a lot of markets, a lot of folks aren't doing this. So many people have gotten on the social bandwagon that they've let the PPC ad, the Google ads, some people call them, and all sorts of other things, they kind of forgot about them a little bit. And then if you go back to I can't remember the name of the presentation of the video that I did. Oh, it's called Does Zillow Have All the Attention? Make sure you watch that, everybody, because it's pretty insane how many people search the word realtor around the country every day. Atlanta, I remember this one, okay, because I goofed it up. Atlanta is just short of 1 million times a month. It's a 20-mile radius, and I picked a little dot somewhere in the middle of the metro there. I did a 20-mile radius, and it's just short of 1 million a month, and it's in the presentation. So go check it out. So the point is, let's say you needed 12 new customers this year. You're at 24. You need to get to 36 to hit your goal, or maybe even need 24. Shoot, if you need 50 more customers this year, there's 1 million a month in Atlanta in a 20-mile radius. This can get you those, because what this is doing a geographical area, okay, and it's using keywords. So when those people search that word realtor every single month, 1 million of them, they typed it in, and then they hit enter. Okay, now they could call you, which would be a click. They could just click on you and go to your website, and so on and so forth. Now, don't you think that is really powerful? I can't imagine you don't. Now, let's take it a step further. Why is this powerful? This is powerful because they're looking for you. This isn't just mamsy-pamsy. I'm cruising around on Facebook and I saw, maybe I didn't even know it was a sponsored ad on Facebook, right? Maybe sometimes people are clicking on ads in Facebook and don't even know, which can be pretty powerful actually, but this is intentional. This is someone looking for a realtor in an area, because why would they type it in? Okay. And then secondly, if they do call you, don't you think that that's going to be there's a great chance of you converting that person into being a customer? So number one, they typed in a word, they hit enter. Number two, in the little ad on their phone, they found your phone number and or the word call, and they clicked on it and they called you. Now, how many out of 10 calls, how many of those are you going to turn into customers, do you think? Out of all the work that person did to try to find you, what's the likelihood of you converting that person? To me, I think that it's very high, but that's up to you. Maybe you're terrible on the phone. That's up to you, right? We can just not have the calls on there. Just do clicks. I don't think that's a good idea, but we could do that, okay? So anyway, when we think about this as our cost per click, that's not just calls, that's all clicks. So let's talk about a few of those things, right? But before we move on, we have impression share. So what's impression share? It's based on several factors, but basically what it boils down to is that if there's 100 searches in a month or in a time period, this is the amount of times, 30.9 times out of those 100, that your ad is going to show up. Okay, so of all the impressions in your time period, what's the percentage of times you're going to show up? We use 100 because that's how we do percentages, right? So out of 100, you're going to show up 30 times. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one here really quickly. So I'll just show you in a 30-day dashboard. All right. So again, we can do all the same stuff. We change this. We can mess around with here. We have the clicks. We have the calls. We have all this stuff. Okay. Same stuff, just different time period. All right. Let's go back again. Let's do the click detail. Okay, so this one's tough to see a little bit. This is the daily clicks. Okay, so if we go, let's go up to the top, and it's the same information. I'm sorry if this is really small for you guys. I tried to get it all in one so we could see it, but basically this graph information up here, as well as this information down here, are the same. Okay, so this is in a spreadsheet form down below, whereas this is in a graph form, and it's on a day-to-day basis. Okay, 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, so on. Okay, now down here it's the same days, 1, 2, 3 in a row, right? Now this does the number of clicks per day, number of impressions per day, number of calls per day, the average position per day. So if you clicked on this button right here, which I'll show you in another slide in a second potentially, it shows you the average ad position for your ads, okay, in that day. So as you can see, what we want to do is get you in the top 4, because if you're on your phone or if you're on your computer, the top 4 ads or the top 4 spaces on every Google first page are reserved for ads. That's where we want you. So this particular customer, as you can see, 2.73, 2.76, 2.48, 2. So on and so forth. So they're in that top 4, okay, and then you can see the spend. All right. So again, clicks, that's this column. Impressions, that's this column. Calls, that's this column. Average position, that's this column. Spend, that's this column. One thing that I think is really powerful here, everybody, is that as you can see, again, live customer here that we have, is that they're all in the top 4, okay? Every day, they're in the top 4. Their average position of the top 4 ads, really big deal, okay? Really, really, really big deal. We see people on page 4 and all kinds of stuff. We don't want to be doing that because we're wasting money, okay? Let's go back to another one. So this is the 30-day click. Let's do the 30-day calls. So what this does is it's the same thing. Okay, again, calls. Try to make it a little bigger. Calls and calls. So a second ago we were on this one, and it broke down these. Now we're on this button, and it's breaking down the calls. Okay. Just wanted to show you the kind of things you can look at. 30-day call, 30-day call. Oh, here we go. Now let's do, okay, here's the average position, then we'll go on to the next one. Okay, so what this is wait, what is it? Oh, this is ad position. Yeah, so this is the ad position. All right, so 2.73, 2.75. As you can see over here, it's breaking on the ad position on a day-to-day basis. Okay, whatever day this was, that must be, well, I don't know which one it is. It's too small to see, and I apologize for that. But the bottom line is this is part of your dashboard. This is what you get to see on an ongoing basis. And why do we want to see this? What we want to do is every month we want to take a look at this, and we want to decide if we need to make tweaks, right? Maybe we want to change our keywords, which we'll check in a second. Maybe we want to do this. Maybe we want to do that. Increase our budget, decrease our budget, do all sorts of different stuff. But if we don't have, remember, if you don't measure it, how do you know how do you increase it? How do you get it better? How do you do that, right? So this stuff is really, really cool. All right, now this is pretty nutso. All right, so what we have is, this is our call detail. So this is a 30-day window, which we saw at the top. There's 13 calls completed, 0 missed, 12, or 0 busy, 12 were unique. So it looks like one person was a repeat call. All right, now, whoa, what's going on? Down below here, it's each individual call. You can see how long it was, the name of the person if it's available, the city they called from, the state, whether it was completed or not, the phone number, and then if you click right here, you can play it. You can play it. It's amazing. So if you're on a phone call with someone and it came from one of these ads and it was going great and whatever, but you forgot a few details, boom, go into your dashboard, play the thing, write down all the stuff that you forgot, and follow up again, right? Like, how amazing is this? It's just obnoxious. So again, a lot of folks, for whatever reason, have chosen not to do this, and that's personal choice, and that's great, and that's up to them. But I personally think that this is really powerful, so I encourage folks to do this. But nonetheless, I hope you guys see the value in this. So not only are these people doing all those things I mentioned a second ago, they're going on their phone, they're typing in a word that's related to you, they're finding your phone number and or the word call in that ad, okay, clicking on it. Now you get to listen to it. Good grief. You possibly get their name and their town. It's just awesome. So anyway, great stuff. Let's see. Let's do the keyword graph. So what we have here, and I crossed out the keyword just for anonymity because I just want to be cool with everyone, right? So I'm going to do my best to help you get the best keywords no matter what. So there's going to definitely be overlap here, but I just wanted to be right on about not sharing information because this is private, right? Like, this is someone's business. So nonetheless, at the top here, we can choose, this is again 30 days, but we could choose, if you can see this up here, shared, desktop, or mobile. And then each keyword, this keyword is that one is this one, and so on, okay? And it goes word by word by word. All right, so here's the clicks, here's the impressions, here's the click-through rate, here's the average position of each keyword, okay? And then the spend per keyword. So this particular keyword is right here, all right? It has 27 clicks, 1,123 impressions, 2.4% click-through rate. And I don't know if you remember this, but way back 100 videos ago, we talked about when Google says that a 2% or higher click-through rate is considered good. Okay, look at this one. 17.48% has been clicked on 18 times. Pretty big, right? We have one that looks like it's, at least by one measure of a click-through rate, is kind of a dud. But maybe this one's brought in a transaction, so the dudness is over. Okay. So anyway, this is part of your dashboard. This is what you get to see. All right. Really cool stuff. Really powerful for creating a plan to move forward on. Right. So what's the whole idea? What's the second part of this video? So I hope you get this. Like this dashboard's obnoxious. I hope you see the value in this. Right. Like this is very, very powerful stuff for you to plan on. Like, what if you took this and you compared quarter to quarter, or you compared this year to last year? If you did January 1st to March 31st of X year compared to another year, and you compared data, and in that data, what you did is you looked at what the different parameters were, right? Did you have different keywords? Did you have different geo areas and all this sort of stuff, right? When you do these sort of things, you had the ability to be more strategic, and the ability to, now that we've measured it, improve it over time. So that's the point here, guys, is that we do this every month. So if you have an ad campaign with us, this is what your dashboard's going to look like, right? This is an amazing performing. Look at this stuff, right? This is doing really, really well. And so we want them all to do well. We're passionate about helping people have high performing campaigns. Like, it's a really big part of what drives us to actually want to do this every day. So I hope you see this. I hope you get fired up again. This is the last one in this whole series. We're at step 4.2. I just want to say thanks for watching all these videos, having to deal with me and my funny faces and rambling of nonsense. I'm going to put a link here to schedule your call if you haven't already. But always reach out, okay? There's some bonuses over here on the left-hand side of when you're looking at the screen of the mind map. Please check those out. I don't know if it's going to, by the time you look at it, if it will change, because we have different things that we try to experiment with all the time. The time of recording this, we have a free month of ads. If you qualify, it's based on a few parameters, zip codes, which campaigns you choose, and so forth. But nonetheless, really excited to work with you. Give us a call. Just click on the link here and just enjoy it. I hope you guys are having a great day, and look forward to hearing from you. And thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.